Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Kennedy Miller here. Thank you for joining our 21 Next. Boy, do we have a heartwarming story for your Friday. Now, you may remember Sirus Miklos. Now, he's a 7-year-old boy from Lancaster County. He was actually born with spinal muscular atrophy. So he uses a wheelchair to get around. You can see some of the video there on your screen. Crazy thing is, he was being harassed just because it took him a few extra minutes to get on enough the bus. So the story reached a lot of people. First brought it to you back in October. A lot of reaction from people. Also reached some reactions from some veterans who also use a wheelchair. So they reached out to us. They said, hey, we want to help Sirus. They actually met him today. Andrew Klein met him before. You got to catch this interaction earlier this morning. So tell me, how was that?
Yeah, it was really heartwarming. This is, a shot of him getting on the bus this morning, and you could see a couple of people around him, right behind him. That's his mom, Danielle. But as we, pan around, that woman in the wheelchair, her name is Amy. Amy saw that story that we did a couple months ago on social media and called our station. Amy lives in Florida. She is a former Marine. She is also in a wheelchair, as you can see. And she called our station and said, how upset she was about Sirus being harassed at the bus station, people honking and going crazy because it took him a few extra minutes to get on the bus. And she wanted to do something. She felt connected to this story because she herself is in a wheelchair, of course, but also she has two children who were both born with a disability as well. And so she talked about how she is a medical mom and she wanted to meet Sirus and his mom to show them that they have a community behind them that will always be there. And so today they got to meet, and Amy and a couple of other members of Paralyzed Veterans of America actually brought some Christmas gifts for Sirus. They brought a tablet, some stuffed animals, a trip to the Strasburg Railroad, which they live right near, to see Santa. So it was really a beautiful few moments. And Cyrus, his face lit up when he got the presents. They said he's now an honorary member of PVA, just furthering that connection that each side hopes to now have for the rest of their lives. Both Cyrus's parents and of course PVA also wants to be connected for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, this is an incredible story. It's so cool that this was able to happen this morning. Andrew, tell me, what was a moment that stood out to you the most?
Yeah, first of all, let me just make it very clear. I'm not the one driving right now. We've got Jordan here. He came with me last time.
Good to
He filmed a lot of
know.
this video. So I'm not the one driving. What was your question again? Sorry, Kennedy.
I was just saying, what was the moment that stood out to you the most this morning, Andrew?
Believe it or not, it was actually after all of this happened. And we went to breakfast, and I held some interviews there. I interviewed Amy and Danielle, Cyrus's mom, and you could feel the emotion just flowing out of Danielle. And this is, an hour after everything had kind of happened, and she had really been able to process what was happening for her son, and not only for her son, for her and her husband, because one of the things that Amy said was when your child is born, you kind of anticipate everything being nice and smooth. And for Amy with her children, for Danielle with her child Cyrus, it wasn't necessarily smooth sailing right away. And that's something that a lot of parents don't understand. When your child is born with spinal muscular atrophy and a disability like this, you know it's your life isn't the same. You're in and out of hospitals, you're sitting at a doctor's visit not knowing what the next day could look like for your child. So to hear Amy say these things to Danielle, and to hear Danielle talk about the group coming here to share this special moment with her son, it was beautiful. It was heartwarming. It was emotional. You know, it was a connection that you could see being created right in front of your eyes. And I think that for me was what has stuck with me the most, was seeing them talk about their experiences and the things that they share without, this is the first time they've met. And so immediately these are two people that are connected in a way that you would never think. And they kept saying how they're medical moms, and being a medical mom is so difficult. A medical parent is so difficult, and oftentimes there's no support system for the parents. And a lot of these parents struggle because what they try to do is they try to hold their emotions so tight inside of them because they want to be strong for their child. They don't want their child to see that their parent is going through something because the parent is trying to stay strong and there's nobody to support the parents. So Amy was saying, not only am I here for Sirus and do I have his back, and this was another one of my favorite moments, seeing him get on the bus and the high five, the fist bump, the I love you from his parents. I mean, it was adorable to see their connection, but to also hear about Amy not only having Cyrus's back, but also being connected to his parents in this way that you would never ever expect was unbelievable. And it was really like seeing a best friendship be created right in front of your eye. It was beautiful. It was really, really heartwarming, the entire thing. But specifically that moment of kind of realization that, you know, Danielle and her husband, they don't have to do this alone. They have people that are there for them, and not only that are there for them, but that they don't need to explain their situation to, that they just get it. They immediately step in, and Amy gets it. She gets what Danielle is going through as a medical mom. So it was important to see, that community. It really is a community that was created and connected this morning.
And Andrew, I mean, you've been covering the story since the beginning. What was your reaction when you found out that a group of these veterans, wanted to help Cyrus and his family?
I mean, I was in shock at how quickly the story spread, at how many people it impacted and saw it. I mean, there were across all our social media platforms, Kennedy, with TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, there were thousands of comments, like millions of views, but thousands of comments, reaching out and saying things on our Facebook page and reaching out to Danielle and saying, "Hey, I'm a medical mom. This is what I've gone through." So it the power of social media is so unbelievably strong. And I feel like social media is very negative, extremely negative in so many ways. And it was a reassurance thing. It was seeing that there really are good people in the world that not only care about others, but will go out of their way to make these things happen. Amy is here in Harrisburg. She's from Central Pennsylvania. She's here for family reasons this specific weekend. And, she even told me she didn't expect anyone from our station to reach out and connect with her and potentially connect these two families, this person with this family. And just to make it all happen is so special. And because so of social media, to see some good come out of social media and to see something like this happen because of a couple social media posts and some good people in the world, it's really reassuring because young Cyrus has dealt with, being bullied by adults. Adults. These are people going to work, driving their car, impatient drivers that, can't wait an extra 3 or 4 minutes for whatever reason. And this is a 7-year-old boy that has had to deal with this harassment and bullying at a bus stop, going to school. He's just trying to go to school and live, his everyday life, and he's dealt with this harassment. So to see this group say, "You're one of us. We are with you. We stand behind you." It was unbelievable.
Yeah, this all went down, at the bus stop. So tell me a little bit about the atmosphere at the bus stop today compared to what Cyrus normally, experiences.
Well, I know it's not easy to see, but you can see kind of past some of the people. There's no one there. There were no cars there, and that was one thing for me that kind of stood out today. But the other was that over the last few weeks, the harassment, the bullying, it's slowed down significantly. There have been way fewer people getting upset. Danielle said, the farthest thing people have done in the last couple of weeks is really just turning around and driving off, and that's way better than, honking or harassing this 7-year-old boy. And the entire thing, this whole thing took about 3 minutes. Getting the bus there, getting him on the bus, and the bus, then taking off and heading to school for Cyrus. The only person that honked, Kennedy, I saw one person honk today. They honked, they smiled, and they waved because they knew it was Sirus. And that's what's been happening. There are people who have reached out to Danielle and said, I am standing outside my house waiting and making sure nobody is harassing this little boy. So it's gone from, really constant harassment to slowing down. And seeing somebody smile and wave today was awesome. It was great to see that things have started to change a little bit in the last couple of weeks since we first told that story. And Danielle even said, I just wanted people to know that this was happening. That awareness was hopefully something that can help slow things down a little bit for our son and for the bus stop. And that's what happened, and so much more. It turned into something so much greater than Cyrus just stopping being harassed. He has now been given this connection.
Get to see this full story tonight, but Andrew, is there anything that stuck out to you the most that happened off camera? We know we get to see the full story, on air tonight. Anything off camera that really stuck with you today?
Cyrus is just the happiest little guy. It's awesome. The first time I spoke to his parents, I asked them right away, does he like school? And they said, yes, he loves school. He loves his friends. He's so deeply emotionally connected. And I didn't actually get a chance to really meet him last time. I just really saw him get off the bus. But today I got a chance to, stand in there and see him open gifts and interact with people. And he was smiling the whole time. He was telling stories, and he was just talking to different people that were in the room, these people that he had never met before, never seen in his life. And to see that positive spirit and to hear his parents talk about that positive spirit, it's one of those kind of fresh reminders in life that there is so much negative and so much bad. But from that, we see a little boy who is fighting through all of this adversity that's being thrown at him in a very early part of his life, and he just has a confidence and a positivity that you could never imagine.
Oh, Andrew, I'm glad that we were finally able to see some light come out of this story. We are definitely looking forward to see your full report tonight. That again is airing at 6 o'clock. There'll also be an article posted on CBS 21. Again, Andrew, thank you for joining the 21 Next. Thank you all for joining our 21 Next. And of course, we'll see you back at the next one.